Kamala Harris voters, I'm going to make you feel good today. Oh my goodness. Pay attention, my fellow liberals and leftists. You're going to love this one. It is April 8th, 2005, and we have a loss, but a win. Pay attention to the end. You definitely want to subscribe here because none of those left-leaning influencer, creator, whatever you want to call them, are talking about this in this way. See, we got a loss. We had a loss. The first Supreme Court loss and the first Supreme Court win for Trump on this Alien Enemies Act, his right to deport people, which sounds horrible, right? Wrong. Wrong. Very wrong. Plus, I'm going to point out a couple of other things with Elon GOP and how it's being set up for Donald Trump not to be in office in basically less than 365 days, possibly. So hear me to the end, all right? You're going to love this channel because nobody talks about it from this angle. Here's what I want you to understand. It may seem like, oh, man, it's a loss. Nope. Nope. Here's what I want you to understand. The Supreme Court ruled in favor of Trump's right to do alien enemies deportations. But, big but, what they said is that you got to do habeas corpus. Do you know what that means? Oh my God, do you? No. Do you know what that means? Understand, let me take you back for a minute. Do you understand that over the last 12 weeks, the reason Trump's getting into trouble every time with the migrant immigration deportation is that they don't have habeas corpus. Habeas corpus means you need due process of the law in the court. They've been doing it. They've been grabbing people, say, off you go to El Salvador. What about my court? No court, bitch. You go on ahead and go to El Salvador. And they wake up in El Salvador overnight with no court process. And the Supreme Court has said, yeah, you can do Alien Enemies Right Act, and you can do that. But you better put them through court and let them get with a judge and get due process. Now, here's the thing. This is why I'm smiling. Oh my God. Y'all ready? Y'all got to spread word on this video. The reason I'm smiling is because we know the score. People who follow my channel, the Urban Road Politics, my channel, they know that Donald Trump has two problems. One, he don't habeas corpus a mama thing. He ain't gonna follow the rules, and his people ain't gonna follow the rules. Tom Homan ain't gonna follow the rules. Bondi ain't gonna follow the rules. ICE ain't gonna follow the rules. And they break those rules from the Supreme Court. It's they ass. I'm trying to tell y'all. And you think, well, they ain't worried about the judge. Oh, yes, they are. Because if they're not worried about the judge, then why they keep going back to the court? Like Trump. And on top of that, if they ain't worried about the judge, then why they keep complying with the judge every time the judge says, go do this? Yes, they do. Don't you let these motherfuckers lie to you about that bullshit. They lying. They out there tell, well, no, yeah, he gets away with everything. No, he doesn't. Here's how he almost got in contempt of court with Bozeman. The big fallout on trying to get Bozeman impeached to defund the courts, the whole big fallout was Bozeman was saying, do not deport these people. We're going to have habeas corpus. Now the Supreme Court has said, oh yeah, you can deport them, but you better have habeas corpus. If they this up, they're going to catch so much hell. Here's the second thing we know. If they take this through the courts, let's look at the last 47 court cases. How many have they won? 2. They won 2. Out of 47, 2. They won 2. So all the lawyers, all of the ones with the 22 Democratic states who've been suing and winning, okay? Attorney generals, they have been suing and winning. Those are the best Democrats we've ever had. Congress, I'm talking about the AGs in our states. And all of the nonprofits like the ACLU who've been suing and winning, including the American Bar Association has been suing and winning. Now you have set them up to take you to court and battle in court. You just opened up, the Supreme Court just opened up tons, hundreds, at the very least thousands of court cases if they want to get anybody out the country. They can't just ship them out. They can't just pick them up and ship them out. Because if they do, they're in contempt of court with the Supreme Court. That's why I'm smiling. That's why I'm smiling. Because they're going to mess it up. How do we know? It's Donald Trump, baby. That's like giving him a casino. Say, now here's this money in this casino. I want you to run it right. Yes, yes, yes. Here's these young models. I just want you to be alone with them. But if you're alone with them, you gotta not touch them. He's been set up for a takedown, and he don't even. God, if they mess this up, and they will, and they will, and they will, and they will. If they mess this up, y'all, this is going to be a supreme trouble they're going to get in. The Supreme Court ain't helping them. You got to understand, the Supreme Court ain't helping them. They think they're trying to call it a win, of course. But the Supreme Court ain't helping them. They're not going to do habeas corpus. And the way they lose in court, right now over the last 12 weeks, it's on. Now, let me take this over to the GOP and Elon. GOP and Elon is amazing because right now you got Signalgate, you got American Oversight suing the Signalgate people with Bozeman, the very one they want to impeach, but Judge Bozeman is presiding over that court. See, right now, the judicial branch is playing chess, and Trump ain't even playing Chinese checkers, okay? He's messing around. He's walking into it. They're giving him enough rope to take him out, okay? In addition to that, there is another big one that's hitting really hard, and that is this tariff economy. Who's mad the most at the tariff economy? Elon Musk. Why? Because it's costing him billions on top of the $100 billion he's already lost. He's stepping away, and when he steps away, you notice what happens? The GOP legislator, the Congress, gets more emboldened to fight Trump. So now you got them fighting Trump on Signalgate. You got them, because here's the other thing I didn't point out. Elon can't stand any of those people on Signalgate, and they can't stand him. So you hadn't said a word. He got up out of that. Any way those people go down, he's happy. So he's out of the GOP business, y'all. He's out of it. He's out of it. So basically, the GOP is now getting some guts out of Congress to go after Trump. Yeah, see, because they fear Trump, they fear MAGA, but they fear Elon most. Really, because they don't want to be outraised, outfunded, nothing. Elon could kill all of their fundraising. Easy. And what I'm trying to tell you is that now that Elon and Trump have kind of had their rift, the superpower pack, the GOP, ain't as quiet, and they raising more hell. Because they wanted to anyway. They were super mad behind the scenes. Everybody knows it. But now it's more of a fight. And then you have this situation with the Supreme Court. Woo! Supreme Court has set them up for a takedown because they ain't going to do habeas corpus. Remember what Tom Homan, the board czar, said? I'll ignore any court I want. Go for it. Go for it, Tom. Come on, Tom. Come on, Cletus. Come on. Did I earn your subscription? You want to be around here because the left, Korean, man, I wish they were talking more about this, but they're not. They keep talking, oh, well, we lost the Supreme Court. I'm like, what are y'all, crazy? They didn't lose the Supreme Court. They said habeas corpus. The Trump administration is going to up the habeas corpus so bad, y'all. Oh, my God. It is on. Subscribe to my channel for more because I'm telling you like it is. Darren Monroe Politics, baby. Darren Monroe Politics.